Shabbat Shalom from Temple Concord. As you can see this week I'm not at the temple, I'm actually in my driveway. My old Model T finally arrived in Syracuse. It's sort of the second chapter for this car, the second story. This was my maternal grandfather's car. He bought it from one of his brothers-in-law in the 50s, and he bought it and kept it in his house and would take it out to take the kids for an ice cream or take us to the park. And it was a big part of my own childhood, and after he passed away, my grandmother said, "It's yours," and I was sort of amazed. It's been sitting in storage, but finally it's here, and it's sort of fun to have it and have a little project to work on, and I'm looking forward to bringing it to the temple and bringing it around a little bit. And there's a sweet irony in that it was a Henry Ford product, and Henry Ford in those days was no friend of the Jews, and so to have a rabbi driving an old Henry Ford car is kind of a fun thing. But the second chapters are an interesting proposition. This week in the Torah portion, we start the book of Deuteronomy, which in a sense is a second telling of the original story. It's all repetitive, but there are always new little details. And so, just like this car getting a second lease, and it'll come to me now, and I'll have it and be able to take my children and hopefully my grandchildren someday, the chapter continues, and the story is told again with slight embellishments and slight changes. And in those little differences, there is sweetness and there's richness to mind. So I hope you'll join us in the coming weeks at the temple so that we can study Deuteronomy together, review the story that we've learned so far, and move forward together. Someday soon you'll see me moving forward around town, and this needs a little work to get it up and running. But it'll be fun to be able to retell this story, just as it's fun each year to retell the story in Deuteronomy. Shabbat services this Friday evening will be at 6 o'clock. We'll be at Onondaga Lake Park. Call the temple office to make reservations. It's a fried chicken dinner. It should be a lot of fun. Saturday morning, of course, services are at 11, preceded by by Torah study at 10, and by text study at 9. And on Monday evening, we'll be celebrating Tisha B'Av, which is the saddest day on the Hebrew calendar. We'll begin with Eicha and some music. It's a candlelit, very mellow service and a very moving service, so I hope you can join us for that. Thursday evening, we'll be at the Chiefs game for Temple Concord United the Chiefs, with the national anthem by the cantor and an opening pitch by yours truly. And Friday evening, we'll be joining together with Beth Shalom and Temple Adif for a community-wide Shabbat service and celebration. It will take place at Temple Adif Friday the 8th at 6 p.m. For now, I invite you to come join and explore the second telling and the second chapter, and we'll craft that second chapter together. And I look forward to sharing a ride with you in this someday soon. Shabbat Shalom. Look forward to seeing you at the temple.